Hello everyone, this is MF217 and joining me are...
Pan the Man, otherwise Panagiotis 2000, and
A
Corey
very
there.
cute power play.
A very what?
Cute. The profile pic.
Oh, right. So anyways, where we last left off, we faced the first boss and all that. We are just about on our way to Mount Moon Pass for the first time. Yeah, I believe it is the first time, considering... I'm just gonna take a bit of a detour for a moment. But first, let me do a few things here. So far, frame rate's actually pretty good so far, but I don't want to jinx it just yet, because... So thoughts on what you're seeing in the game so far, Pan, considering you apparently haven't really played this game or whatever, you know?
yes. So it will be a new experience for me too.
I'm just trying to make sure I can't remember if I actually did get all the maps prior to booting up this save for today and all that. So
Just remember, the shopkeeper is both a treat and an absolute bitch when it comes to haggling.
yeah, don't even get me started on that. You've seen my previous episodes to know that yourself full well, so...
I've been a part of those episodes.
Like, again,
Sometimes
I
when
can't
he's...
remember if Pan was there or not, but... I'm pretty certain he had a chance to see the episodes for himself and also Secret Passageway.
Sometimes when he says that you pay this much, you do pay this much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there was like 10 free 10 value scarabs there, and I'm like, okay, when I saw it go up to 35 and not any higher, I was like, where's the other scarab at the moment? Because I had 15 already, and getting all 3 of them would have gotten me 45, so obviously I had to take that into account. Okay.
I think we are ready.
What do you mean?
I mean to start the game.
Well, first I'm just gathering a few little thingamajigs here.
Okay.
These are the grub tubs that I was referring to in DM when I was coming to that character of mine I had planned to have featured in your fic and all that. So those mushrooms that were jumping from me for a little bit.
Yeah, I think we should see them more so. I can edit and increase the description about them.
Yeah, the main ones that you feed the tricky and all that are blue, so there are these giant red ones which are poisonous, and then there are these antidote versions of them that are white, but are located far below ground.
I remember having a statistic about poisonous and non-poisonous mushrooms, but I don't really remember if in reality red ones are more dangerous than blue ones. I think not.
You might
It's
not
still
have
interesting.
been there when I was showing how that works and all that. So I don't even know if those actually are grub tub mushrooms or not, but I just assume they are, considering how pretty much like the other 2 varieties, they are very much alive in their own sense and all that. So
Okay.
something going on?
So, yeah, I think I should clarify that the grab traps are mushrooms.
Okay, hopefully it lets me get in here just fine. Meanwhile, this is gonna be a lovely little thing for me to deal with yet again.
Wake up! Somebody coming!
So if you're wondering why the dialogue at this point in the game is all English and all that, Fox already has a translator long before this part of the game, so at first he didn't have a translator for himself and he had to have Slippy translate for him, but not very long after rescuing Tricky, he got the translator working for himself, so
This makes things much easier.
like, there is, like, only, like, a single character, if I'm not mistaken, who still uses the Saurian language at this point in the game, even though, if anything, I don't understand why that's the case in this particular regard.
Yeah, since you do have the translator,
I mean,
it
it's
would be like
clear
hearing
the
English.
characters listening to them speak and all that can still understand her, even though she's speaking Saurian for some unforsaken reason, but Fox and Tricky can still understand what she's saying and all that, and... Okay, do I have to just ignore the elephant in the room, or do I just bring up flat out who I'm referring to of that? Even though, admittedly, it's not really going to matter until after I get done with the first visit to the Volcano Force Point Temple, if anything, so... That spellstone you see at the top middle of my UI and all that, so that's one of the MacGuffins I have for this part of the game and all that.
So, we are starting the second area, I suppose.
Technically not, we're still in the epilogue of the first major area, so to speak, because we have to basically take the MacGuffin we got from that to the respective Force Point Temple and all that. There are two Force Point Temples in the game, one a volcano-based and the other an ocean-based one. And you'll know which one you have to go to by the color of the spellstone you get. So, the first and third spellstones are Volcano Force Point Temple spellstones, but the second and fourth are Ocean Force Point Temple spellstones.
I suppose red and blue are the colors about them.
Red and blue, yeah, although apparently when the game was still in development, there was apparently a different Force Point Temple in the Ocean one that we knew of in the final game. Apparently it was called the Desert Force Point Temple, although I could be wrong about that. Like, again, I haven't really looked into the leaked build and all that for quite a while now, and it's a little bit of a haunting subject for me to discuss lightly, so I have mad respect for what the original game was going to be and what it even ultimately turned out still, so yeah, that's not a topic I'm going to screw up any lightly and all just by doing it whatever injustice I would speak otherwise, you know?
Yeah, the development of this game is just as an interesting story as the story of the game itself. Anything else?
Well, for one, I'm going to show you how we even get into this place. Because you kind of do have to get everything here while you can access them when you can. Because without a spellstone to open the gate to the front entrance of this place and the other place like it, if you miss any collectibles that are in here, then good luck getting them again if you don't have the... if you already turned in the second spellstone of that particular region, so...
Okay.
There's one.
I just have nothing else to say. That's all.
It's fine, it's fine. Hey, what's over here? The hell am I? Okay, what is that and how did I not know of that? Like, no, seriously, does that go anywhere? Like, apologies for being off track here. Like, I legit never noticed that little cave opening there of anything. Like, what's in there? Like, until probably the second visit here, I'm probably not going to be able to find out just yet, but, okay. Enough of that. Yep. And as you can see, either do the limited text and all that, or something else, but the Sharp Claw will only attack you one at a time, even if they do appear in groups.
Wait, why can't I see the video?
Wait, am I not screen sharing?
You are.
I can't see the let's play. I can't see the game.
Are you viewing my stream?
Yeah, I am viewing both of your screens.
There's only one person streaming here.
Oh. Oh wait. I did a little blunder.
Okay, pardon?
Okay, now I see.
Yep.
So suppose you have to put out the flames.
From what I can remember, yeah. The ones in
Well,
here
that's-
don't count though, only the ones in that room prior and all that. So,
Okay. I think you can't put out the blue ones, or can you?
those ones won't go out permanently in the hallway area. Like, these are the ones I have to put out though, because it opens up this.
Yeah. Now I see. The red ones had to go down. Also, is that a tiny earth walker?
What?
Is that a tiny earth walker?
This guy?
Yes.
That's tricky.
Okay. Not very familiar with the game.
Like, he's the prince of the Earthwalker, so... Like, give him about a year and he's gonna be a lot larger than he is here, so... If you're familiar with his brief cameo in Star Fox Assault, you'll definitely know what I mean by that. So,
To hear this,
Yeah.
this temple has been built on a force point. A point where pure
I hope he
energy
doesn't make us
from within
do rolls all the time.
this energy is so
doesn't make what all the time? What?
continually attempts to break the planet apart.
Do barrel rolls all the time.
The ancient
Because I think I know who this is.
Peppy?
inside the temple to absorb
Yes.
the energy.
He only really said that line, though, in, like, Star Fox 64, and Zero had a more
Turning the spell
case of him being self-aware about it, sort of, but,
more. Peppy out.
Yeah. I
like,
can still
Star
make
Fox
jokes about
Zero
this.
was kind of an awkward existential crisis about it, but,
Yeah. Actually, I think he says it twice in the easy route.
no, the
One
reason I
in the
bring it up in
tutorial.
Zero is that there's an entire mission where you play as Peppy, and every time you
Yes.
do a barrel roll, he will speak it out loud and such.
How
And literally, the mission
he-
is just you taking down an entire fleet on your own. So,
Yeah. Let's not forget that everyone in your team is a very competent pilot.
like,
Yeah,
obviously,
even
I
Philippus.
don't think I need to explain. Did I go the wrong way, or no? Wait, I went the right way. Yeah. Yeah, some of these rooms look a tad too familiar for me at times.
Yeah.
Wait,
This is yeah, because I have played Ocarina of Time. And it also reminds me a bit of Rayman.
why Rayman in particular?
23.
Like again, why Rayman in particular? Like,
The architecture.
I'm afraid
of
I
the
cannot
3D
really.
systems. Speak about Rayman.
I really cannot see where you're going with that, if anything.
Yep. But I can say that the bad guys remind me of Ocarina of Time.
The Keys, anyone?
Yes. The Fire Keys, which are the most annoying enemies as Child Link.
By the way, if you knew how to do so, you could push these guys into those jets of fire and... like that.
Roasted! Okay,
Trying to get
one
this
is
guy to drop
coincident-
his guard, like, even though they only attack you one at a time, some of their guards can be kind of tricky to get around and all that. Like,
Yeah. You either find a way to break his guard or wait until he attacks or something. Which is a bit risky. And speaking of risks,
yeah, like, you kind of have to help him get across here, if anything, because,
this could be a lot harder.
it's normally not all that hard, considering he normally does sort of have a rubber band AI going on for him to make sure he doesn't get too far from you and all that. So, but that's like one of the few cases
No.
where his little off-screen teleportation just doesn't work for him for some reason.
No, I mean it could be harder because if you shot it at the wrong position, it could stop in the wrong way, in the wrong place. But as I can see, this is not the case, making things much less frustrating.
So here we are with the Force Point Temple Chamber and all that. So this area is connected to literally the other spots of the Force Point Temples we'll be entering this part from. So with that out of the way. Like, those rays of energy will gradually disappear as you put the spell stones back into place. And until it's a little revelation that takes place after you get all four, at first you think that's the main goal of the game, is to get all the spell stones, and the Krazoa spirits are just this little side thing. But the Krazoa spirits actually turn out to be just as vital as the spell stones, except we're not really told that up front, really.
Are these mushrooms the grab tabs?
Yeah. Like, the blue ones are the ones I commonly find all over the place in order to be tricky with and anything.
Yeah. And I say the keys are still as annoying as ever. Or whatever they are called here. Now that I think about it, it also reminds me of Twilight Princess. Specifically, the second dungeon.
Yeah, not gonna blame you. Can kind of see that one, if anything. Like,
Except the part with the magnetic boots. Even the enemies are similar to fire-based Zelda dungeon. Apart from the keys, The Sarpclaw troops are similar to the Lizalfos. Or Lizalfos.
Can you hear that? A Krazoa.
Do you wish to accept our test?
What is it talking about? What test?
I was released when she completed my test, but she is now in great danger, and for her to survive, you must continue what she started, and collect the remaining Krazoa spirits, for only the pure of heart can enter our shrines.
I can't just stop now to save this stranger. The planet is falling apart.
Who is talking?
Sounds like she's
Who is
in
asking
big
for help?
trouble, Fox.
Crystal.
Find the remaining
Please tell me it did not crash right here. Apologies for that. That is kind of why for the last several episodes now you've been seeing me saving quite a bit. Basically, for some unforsaken reason, this game kind of likes to crash on me, like completely freeze up even if the audio still somehow continues to play even when it's basically soft-locked itself somehow. Like, I don't know exactly what's going on, but needless to say, that's a bit of a problem, and hopefully I can get through the... Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I put up the menu here, and I'm like, none of the icons loaded for a second here, like... Wait. So it apparently registered me as still having got those fuel cells. So exactly where did I save before it just lumped me back here? Hello? Pan, you there? Yeah, just
Okay.
waiting for power to get back. Yeah, I'm just waiting for power to get back, because I'm just kind of retracing my steps, getting back to where the cutscene started and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, can I come in again in 5 minutes?
Wait, what?
Can I come again in 5 minutes?
Hear that?
Or or will we finish earlier?
We paused briefly earlier because it crashed earlier, remember?
Krazoa.
Yeah.
Do you wish
And
to
now
accept
I'm
our
continuing where I'm hopefully going to be able to continue from where I left off. So that way I can then get the episode edited together, stitch the individual parts together, and then upload it to YouTube at long last.
She is now in great danger, and for her
Yeah.
to
I
survive,
think
Could you get Power's
I
attention
think that-
to come over here, like...
and collect the remaining Krazoa spirits, for only the pure of heart can enter our shrine.
By the way, do you want to know what the irony is? I think I already said this in the previous part we recorded, but the Krazoa spirits are actually part of the way they're ultimately going to put the planet back together.
She's in big trouble.
Of course, Tricky doesn't bother to inform Foxes sooner for some reason.
Complete the test within each.
He apparently knew for quite a while, though. Like,
The warp stone can get you there.
When all spirits are returned,
Yeah. I heard that in the original game they were more morally grey
her life.
than now.
The creature to collect.
but yeah, that little passageway I discovered in the Volcano Force Point Temple, that creature that Krazoa is telling me to defeat in order to get an item from it. That's the item I would have needed in order to access that secret passage or whatever it's supposed to be. I do kind of want to know what's in there, considering I never realized it was even there until just recently. Like, literally, when I was recording, I was like, what's over here? Like, and I just noticed that. I'm like, how did I miss that for so long? Like, what was even over there? Like, now it's got me curious to the point. It's kind of actually pissed me off a little bit. I didn't notice it prior. But yeah, this also ties into a bit of an annoying little part of this particular segment of the game, that is collecting moon seeds. Because the creatures you get them from are quite a bit of a hassle in order to be able to KO.
Okay. What is this?
Basically, you have to strike the enemy on its back, but unless I use the ground quake on it, it's not going to just turn around on its own and let me strike it like normal. Like I literally have to stun it with the ground shake and then have it strike it from the back when it turns around during its little bit of panic. Oh, and these fuckers respawn very quickly, by the way, so...
Yeah. And they look very hard to squash. But at least they are immobile. Have
It only
low range.
takes 2 hits from the staff from the back in order to KO them, but the amount of energy it consumes for the ground shake and all that can be kinda troublesome for some. Yeah, I was gonna say, did you respawn yet? Cause,
At least they don't hit hard.
no, like, the ground shake isn't really how you damage it. It's just getting it into a vulnerable enough spot to then basically,
They don't look hard, just annoying.
Not to mention, in order to make these seeds grow and blossom to open passageways, you have to use Tricky's flame breath on it in order to make them grow and all that, which is yet another weird oddity regarding how this planet even works. Like, honestly, could you blame me for wanting a Star Fox game that was all about space exploration rather than just the typical military warfare and all that they typically go through? Like, they're mercenaries. You know that, I'm assuming, right? So, wouldn't it be not really out of the question for someone to, like, hire them to do scouting routine for an unknown planet, basically? Like, I don't know, it seems like a plausible thing they'd be actually hired to do, if anything.
Yeah, I think a mercenary who has a problem of over-specialization won't last long.
Who do you mention having a crippling sense of over-specialization?
Yeah. Well, not Fox.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it Fox or someone else you're talking about here? Because it kind of confused me for a bit, because I couldn't quite tell who you're referring to right away.
Talking about Fox as a counter example. Not as an example.
Flame.
Might be, how are these guys called?
Yeah, that little bomb spore plant kind of gets in the way of KOing this guy reliably in that particular spot. Because the bomb spore explosion kind of renders its shield ability to activate, causing me to have some of the ground shakes go to waste. Hi, Tricky.
Oh, I have a question.
What?
How can a mercenary be pure of heart?
Yeah, there's a reason when I do my own thick interpretation of this game. There's not only going to be an actual reason why Crystal is going to be part of the main story more than she ended up being, but Fox is actually not going to be pure of heart in that fic. Because he basically has to sit it out when Crystal's the one who has to go into the Krazoa Shrines in order to free them and return them to the Krazoa Palace.
It also helps her be more active.
Fox, if anything, I'd imagine would be going after the spell stones rather than dealing with the Krazoa, if anything. That's how I interpret it anyway, based off what a webcomic I was following would have done had he actually continued it further, but
Good idea.
they kind of stopped production on their comic after feeling a bit of burnout. But yeah, their basic idea, I'm like, maybe I should ask them if I can, like, if you're not gonna continue the comic on your own, like, can I at least have your blessing to use some of your ideas for my own literature fic for it? Like, that's what I'm gonna do when I get a chance to talk to him again, like, if I can, like, at least have his permission to use it for my fic I would be writing in literature form, if anything, like, I'm not really good with webcomics, so that's kind of why I typically tend to don't really do those, if anything, so...
Oh, so you can hurt them with regular attacks.
Oh wait, this is a bomb spore plant, not a moonseed one, like... Took me a while to realize that right away, but, Oh yeah, this is, odd cutscene that's about to happen here.
What the? Look out!
Like, an piece of debris just crashes all of a sudden into this part of the planet. I'd have to assume it's from one of the areas known as Dragon Rock, considering this guy here.
It doesn't look friendly.
Yeah, that guy is one of the enemies you'd encounter more often in Dragon Rock than anywhere else. Also worth noting, it's got a unique battle theme that only plays otherwise when you're fighting the Red Eye tribe and Walled City and all that. So it's basically got a battle music override in a sense.
Oh, like in
Like
Zelda
anyone else's
again.
battle music would be overridden by its own, basically. Like,
Oh, so not just hostile, but a tough hostile entity.
what?
I said that if so, that guy is probably not just hostile, but tough as well.
I am trying to remember where all the pieces to this little puzzle are, because... I was gonna say, was I doing that one right the first one, or did I have to move it a little bit?
Bad guy!
Basically, long story short, you just have to place these meteor fragments.
Fine.
You just kind of have to place these meteor fragments in a spot where it'll lift that giant chunk out of the geyser there. Yeah, that'll allow us to get passage through there, because it'll actually lift it up high enough for us to get through.
Flame.
No, I did not mean to hit you, Tricky. I'm trying to hit this thing here. Like, I really hate those things. Oh, yeah, right. Here you go. By the way, in case you're wondering about Fox's jacket here, it's actually a mod I have in here to make it so it's a black jacket rather than the regular one he had in the... It also modifies a few other parts of his outfit as well, but the jacket is what stands out the most in terms of what was changed here. Huh. Guess that guy's not respawning anytime soon.
Flame. Flame.
Oh yeah, this is going to be an important one to get, if anything.
Show me 20 scarabs, and I'll give you a cheap token.
Yeah, I'm just going to lump these in here, and yeah. By the way, is Corey gonna join us, or is he just gonna sit in the other chat, not realizing we're here and all that? So...
Wait up, Fox.
But yeah, if anything, I'm gonna use this part of the spot here to just save and call it a day for this episode. So this has been MF217, joined by Pan and Corey, and thanks in advance for watching, and we'll see you next time.